When you buy fresh broccoli from the store, do you buy the stalks with the flowerets or crowns on top like this? Couple stalks with a rubber band? Or do you prefer to buy broccoli crowns or flowerets like this, where the stalk has already been removed and the broccoli is ready to go? The secret ingredient today is talking about the difference between as purchased versus edible portion. AP, as purchased, and EP, edible portion, are food service terms that we use when purchasing. The percent yield is EP over AP. There won't be a quiz at the end, but I think you're going to learn a lot. So let's start out by weighing the full amount of broccoli that we bought with the stalks. The total weight for both of the stalks with the floweret or crown on top was 1 pound 11 ounces. Now, most people don't use the stalk. They really only use the flowerets on top. So when we clean that, we keep in mind the waste that we're going to have, and we will weigh that. Now, some of you may use the stalk, and then it won't be the same. But if most people would toss this. So the weight of the stalk was 13.5 ounces. We'll round to 14. And the flowerets themselves, or the edible portion part, the yield on that was 14 ounces. Now let's weigh the crown we bought. 12.3 ounces, or we'll round to 12 ounces. So when we look at the two on a worksheet, we see that the stalks of broccoli cost $3.69. The crown was $2.99. The AP weight, or the as purchased weight, of 1 pound 11 ounces for the stalks and 12 ounces for the crown. The waste that we subtracted, 14 ounces, for an edible portion of 13 ounces on the stalks. And of course the edible portion on the crown is the same as we purchased, 12 ounces. The percent yield on the stalks was 48% versus 100% on the crown. So the edible portion cost per pound was $4.54 for the stalks versus $3.98 for the crown. So there's a 56-cent difference or more per pound for the broccoli with the stalks. So unless you use the stalks, it is probably not a better deal for you to purchase that. Something to think about. Let's compare cantaloupe. A whole cantaloupe, and by the way, this cantaloupe weighs about 4 pounds when we round, versus pre-cut, ready to eat, beautiful cantaloupe in a plastic container. Some people don't like to waste plastic. They're not interested in buying this, but for convenience, some might. So let's compare these two. The pre-cut is about 1 pound. Let's take the cantaloupe, and you always want to wash melon before you cut it. Any melon. Any bacteria on the surface will go through on the knife to the flesh, so we always want to be sure we wash. The easiest way to cut a melon, any kind of melon again, is to slice both ends. We're going to keep these because we're going to weigh the waste. And then the cantaloupe will sit nice and square so you don't cut yourself when you go down the contour of the melon to cut the rind off. Continue to do this till you're finished. And we're going to weigh all of this rind, so we're going to put it on a tray so that we can put it on our scale. And then we will cut the melon in half and also remove the seeds, which are also waste. We'll weigh those as well. So the total waste from this cantaloupe that weighed 4 pounds, as you can see when we add the seeds and the rind, is 2 pounds 3 ounces rounded. And the cantaloupe part that we're going to eat, or the edible portion, is 1 pound 14 ounces. So once that's cubed, you can tell we have quite a bit more. So let's look at this one on a worksheet. So the whole melon cost $3 versus the cut melon was $4.82. 4 pound weight versus 1 pound, but the waste was 2 pounds 3 ounces. No waste on the cut melon, for an edible portion of 1 pound 14 ounces versus the 1 pound, 47% yield versus 100 on the cut. So the edible portion cost per pound was $1.60 for the whole melon, or $4.82 for the cut melon. That's a $3.22 difference, or cost, for the convenience of the pre-cut cantaloupe. So just some food for thought when you purchase your produce.